like fans. So like it's basically you've got the die-hard lads that are like M2, 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 and then that is.
Oh, what did you say then? What did you just say?
I said nothing, mate. What you're doing right now, you're gonna like ruin my business in one video. Ruin my business.
He's claiming that the Audi is faster than the M2.
Oh my lord. Oh my.
Faster Nürburgring time.
Don't
faster 0 to 60.
This is the kind of thing.
I'll screenshot the chat and I'll put it here.
Me and Will have been arguing about which one's faster. Now I googled Nürburgring lap time, TTRS, Nürburgring lap time, M2 comp. 5 seconds quicker. I don't care, but you seem to care. You seem to care.
I've got more fun.
Yeah, I will not say that that car is probably more fun. Well, sorry, that car is more fun than this one. No doubt. Nice but I know in wet weather, cold weather, icy weather, I'd rather have this one.
Yeah. First of all, hello, welcome to the video. When I filmed with Will, this is Will from Flawless Detailing, I'll link him all down below. When I filmed with Will last week, it was just peeing down with rain. As you can see, it's absolutely peeing down with rain, and he was just leaving me for dust. He was just burning it down the motorway, down the dual carriageway, and I was just like half throttling it. I couldn't even keep up. But it was peeing down with rain. We did it in a car park. I'll probably put some overlay clips or something, and it was crap. So we're just out here and we're gonna redo it again. So, 55 grand, because these two are exactly the same. 55 grand for an Audi TTRS, 55 grand for an M2 competition. Which would you choose? So we're going to cover that today. If you haven't subscribed, I've got some weird statistic where it's like 97% of people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, so please subscribe below, thank you very much. This is Will from Flawless Detailing. He's a detailer. He does everything from cleaning cars to ceramic coating cars and everything detailing in between. And how long have you had this TTRS for?
I bought it end of June. I had a deposit down for a few months, but then it was lockdown, so I couldn't collect it. So yeah, probably waited about 2 months and then went and picked it up.
Okay. You've got what, springs on it?
So H&R springs I actually got for free from CLP Tuning after like a minor hiccup with a previous order, so they sent me out a new set for free, which was really nice of them. So hit up CLP if you need anything. 11mm spaces on the front, 16 on the rear, just to bring the wheels out a bit.
Any rubbing? That's kind of close.
I'll move the wheel around for you.
That's tight. Really close.
It's tight, but the suspension is pretty firm. Well, depending on which mode you have it in, comfort, dynamic, and all that stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's basically got H&R springs, Forge Motorsport spaces. We took off all the aluminium. When I say we took off all the aluminium trim, fuel filler cap, lower trims, all that stuff, and had them all painted. I absolutely hate plastic gloss blacks because they scratch really easy. So painted is actually a lot easier to do. So as you can see, thank you for that. So as you can see, it looks a lot better. Just did the chrome, got rid of all the chrome badges and all that stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I've done. Santa was very kind and brought a nice big wing for it, so that will be going on when I get back into the office in January. It needs to be painted. Yeah, mate. Like, it's pretty obvious when you see the size of it. You'll say, actually, what's he trying to hide? So yeah, so apart from that, it's pretty much bone stock. There's a remap written for the car, which will take it to sort of just sub 500 brake, 630 newton meters at all, if you really care. And yeah, that's probably about as far as I'll go with it. Maybe a couple other little bits, maybe some different wheels and stuff. But yeah, it's I don't use it every day, but it has to be functional.
What are these stocks? Is it like what, 400 brake?
So yeah, so they're 400 brake stock, 475. That's, don't quote me on that, but it's sort of high 400s newton meters torque. And yeah,
mine's 500 newton meters. Mine's 410 bhp.
That's a cool story, mate. So yeah, so it's but yeah, it's an absolutely brilliant car. I cannot see myself getting rid of it anytime soon. And like comparing it to the BMW, I think some people hate this, but BMW owners and Audi owners are very similar because we both think the product that we've bought is the best product. And I think you'll probably agree. You'll agree for the money that you spend, you're very happy with your car, and for the money I spend, I'm very happy with my car. And because we want very different things out of our vehicles, like I said, I like to be able to I like to know if I'm going out in all different weathers, I'm going to think about it. Because I'm going to be honest, I sort of run on caffeine and humour most of the time. I'm usually pretty tired, so if I'm not thinking and I go through a roundabout and it decides to spit me out the other side backwards, I don't really want that. So
yeah, I had a little heart attack this morning on the way here, and it was
run out of talent.
It was like slipping all over at the back, but that kind of forward drive.
Oh mate, where I came from today, it was black ice the whole way up, and I'm pretty confident in the fact that it just kept losing a little grip and then just snapping back into shape, and that's what I like about it. And again, for the money what I spent, this is what I would buy, but you know, it doesn't mean it's the best choice, it's just the choice that I made.
They're both brilliant cars. Like TT is what? The smallest, apart from the A3, it's like the smallest Audi.
Well, basically these are discontinued. 2022, they're not making these anymore. So I'm kind of happy that I jumped on it, because it's not like there's not going to be a newer shape.
Are they not making a TT?
No, so it's literally, these are the last ones. So I know for pretty much the next however long I keep it, there's not going to be a newer one, so it will still be the current shape for as long as possible. So hopefully that keeps the values quite nice. When I bought this vehicle, I had to have this one. I was just saying to Will off camera, it had to be this one. It's got the nice big ceramic brakes. Do you get ceramic brakes in those ones?
No, they're standard.
Is that an option?
No, you've got to get the M2CS to get the ceramic for that.
So ceramic brakes. OLED rear lights, which are really cool. Even Will had to admit that they were quite cool.
They are.
And yeah, it's just the little things like that. And like I said, it didn't have the black pack on it, but if you know your way around a car and you're happy to strip it all off and get it all painted, then, you know, and done properly, you see all these people get their bits wrapped, and nothing against wrapping, very good for what it is. But if you're into the car scene and into the detailing like myself, it just doesn't stand up to proper paint. So yeah.
Well, you guys know my car very well if you follow the channel, but we'll cover it anyway. 410 bhp, 500 Nm of torque, rear wheel drive, four wheel drive, rear wheel drive. They're both great cars. Will.
Sorry.
They're both great cars, but they're also both great in different ways. They're completely different.
100%, mate. 100%.
They're completely different, but they're also great.
It's exactly what whatever you're looking for, it will do. You know, it will do exactly that. They're both very pretty cars. Like, in my opinion, I think my car's quite a good looking car. I'm going to say that. And I think, but even then, as I said to you last time when we filmed last, it's still, I love seeing an M2 on the road. I think they look brilliant. When you go start on the motorway, you've got one coming up behind you, nice big wide car. It's got a lot of presence, and that's why me and Will will constantly take shots at each other.
The Audi banter is banter.
It's all, yeah, exactly. It's all good fun. And if anyone was to come out and say that's a rubbish car, I'd just be like, well, you're wrong. You know. And if anyone turned around and said the most common thing I hear is hairdresser's car, and I'm like, okay, like, let's be honest, that isn't a hairdresser's car, but if you want to make that claim, then come race me. We'll do that.
Let's do some revs.
Revs?
Yeah, go on.
Why not?
All he's got is launch control.
That's the thing. It's not actually, as we said, Audis aren't as impressive when you rev them, but...
Yeah, give it a few more. So that's completely stock.
That's bone stock. Well,
67 plate car, no OPF.
So sports exhaust, as indicated by the black tips, basically means that there's 4 cats, and when you get the sports exhaust, it's 2 cats. Two cats are taken out, and they're just replaced with just straight pipes.
No OPF because it's 67.
No OPF came in 19, so it's just before that. Partly the reason why I wanted this car. It's a lot of fangling to get the OPF, like OPF delete. So yes, it's kind of a reason why.
It sounds really good, but when I drive behind it, it sounds really good. It almost sounds like you've downpiped it. And
that's probably the only thing next to what I do. Apart from the map, I probably do the downpipe as well, just for a little bit more raucousness.
It sounds pretty unrestricted to me, but you're always going to want more.
Oh yeah, exactly. And this car was the fastest thing in the world when I bought it, and it actually scared me. I actually didn't like driving it for a bit, because although yes, it is just a car, but it's, you know, a car ripping 3.5 0 to 60 from stock is, you know, that's supercar territory, you know. So yeah, for me, I sort of had to get used to it, and now I'm used to it. You always want to push on a bit further.
No rev limiter. BMWs don't have rev limiters.
Audis do.
But thing is, Audis have always been the car that the brand that have been quite ahead of the EU regulations. They were like the first to put OPFs in, first to do rev limiters.
They sold loads of these and couldn't actually deliver to customers purely because of the whole OPF situation. So that's why they went off sale for probably about a year.
Yeah.
So there's not really any 18 plate cars about, because then they had to stop making them 67, and then by 18 they had to then basically change it all around to then make it suitable for.
Well, the new Audis don't have any cracks and burbles anymore, and only now do the new BMWs not have. So if you've seen the M8 competition, I think the X3, X4M competition, they don't burble or pop when you rev them on the standstill. And Audis have been, they're always like 1 year or 2 years ahead of everyone else.
My old man's got a 19 plate R8 V10 Performance, and it's not boring, but when he had a 65 plate one, and that one you revved it and it sounded absolutely phenomenal. It banged, it cracked, it popped. Yeah. Whereas this one, it's very limited. If it's not under load, it's very limited.
Yeah. Jesus, that's loud. That's obviously ricocheting off all the buildings, but that sounds incredible. That sounds way too good to be stock and just an Audi sports exhaust. It actually is embarrassing for my car. All over the place, it's literally no point.
To be fair, I noticed that, like, he's going to meet God in about 5 to 10 minutes. Absolute asbo. Look at that bit of kit.
Alright, that's like the quickest review I've ever done. It feels very quick anyway. It's not been like super detailed, but you can go watch Top Gear or Carfection or whatever for that if you want. These are just two guys who've got an M2 and an Audi TT, so I hope you enjoyed it. Like it, subscribe, the usual. Go follow Will, go follow Flawless Detailing if you're in the Gloucestershire area and you need your car cleaned or detailed. Which would I pick? Which would Will pick? If you're in the market for either, four-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, you're not going to go wrong with either. Just depends if you're an Audi or a BMW fanboy. Is that a good enough summary? Yeah?
Yeah. I'll take that.
Okay, alright. See you later in the next video. 2 videos in one day. Happy New Year, everyone. See you in 2021.
Which car would you choose if you had the money? You know, and it's like, we're lucky enough to have them, basically. Right, you ready?
Summary from Will.
No, I was doing a summary.
Go on.
That's no way stock. It sounds so good.
The new ones don't do that, as we spoke about.
Yeah.
The OPF ones don't do that. Yeah. They just go ring, 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 ring.